Hello and welcome everybody as we're loaded onto Summoner's Rift for another beautiful day of League of Legends LCS Academy action. I have the privilege of being the voice for TL and FlyQuest fans around the world tuning in to see their favorite up-and-coming talent duke it out on the way to pro. If you look at both these teams, you analyze the player IDs, we've seen them. We got Revenge, Fnatic, Triple Mash, big on FlyQuest with Jenkins, Grig, Yasui, Ricard, and ooh, what's this? What's that? A new player on Team Liquid. That's right. Earlier this week, TL picked up Rhino to be their new support player. And I just want to take a quick moment to introduce this player while we're getting settled into this early game. Quick wrap up of this guy's resume here. He's from Florida State University. He's been playing with the collegiate team since August of 2018. He did have a very short stint in amateur, subbing in for Radiance for a single day and winning a best of 3 with that. And now he's in LCS Academy. He made top 8 in the Southern Conference before all the COVID shutdowns prevented the competitions from playing out. But they were looking like a very strong collegiate team in the Southern Conference and were vying for that title. I'm excited to see Rhino. I'm really hyped for a new player to be joining the LCS action, and I did have an opportunity to ask him a few questions on Twitter earlier today. First off, favorite champions, he loves to play Thresh, Bard, Set. If you check his op.gg, he also plays a lot of Nautilus, so it's great to see him on more of a playmaker here, as he's already making those plays, early trade onto Big. Second of all, I asked him if he likes to play aggressive, if he likes to play for lane, or go for those roams, help out the team. He said he's more of a roaming support, but he does appreciate staying in lane depending on the matchup. And if you're looking at this matchup right here, I definitely think you stay and punish this lane. And the final question I asked, do you have any shout-outs? He said shout out to Jordan and everyone else from Florida State University that supported him in his journey to LCS Academy. And also a shout out to Double F, the AD carry, who believed in him and told him that he should pursue a professional career. So congratulations, Rhino. Welcome to LCS Academy. With all that being said, let's zoom in on the teams in front of us on the matchup here. Team Liquid 2-11. As an organization in Academy, having a really rough split of things. One loss here. If they lose right now, they are knocked out of playoff contention. No way to get 7 wins and be in even 6th place at that point, because everybody that's tied 4th, 5th, and 6th has 7 wins already. So this is a must-win for Team Liquid. Every game going forward is a must-win if they want to continue their streak of never missing an Academy playoffs ever since franchising started. But FlyQuest, on the other side, looking like a tough opponent. They did beat Team Liquid last time around, and they are looking pretty good right now. I'm liking their composition, especially in this game. They got a lot of tools to work with, and if you look at Team Liquid, they're going scaling, Gangplank, Kog'Maw, and the Kai'Sa there, so they need to let this game go late. They need to slow things down if they can and allow these carries to come online, because FlyQuest, you look at Revenge, you look at Fnatic on the top side of the map, they got some champions that can make some things happen. Early on, though, pretty slow start here. No early invades, no crazy ganks happening right off the bat, as we did see Fnatic hanging around the bottom half. But just as I say that, they go on to Mash on the bot side, and that is going to be first blood. Picked up for Ricard. It is answered back, as Grig will go down, but well done, Team Liquid. A much more aggressive look here from the squad. Rhino on the Nautilus, really setting them up for these plays. And again, it's just such a different look for this player, too. For anybody who watched last night, Team Liquid Academy, if we're being honest, they got slammed by Cloud9 Academy. That game was not that close, and Rhino was playing Tahm Kench. Does have a lot of Tahm Kench games played in solo queue, but it doesn't fit the play style of this player. He went 1-6-2 on the pick, and this time around, the first thing I saw when I was loading into this game, when I was thinking, okay, Team Liquid versus FlyQuest Academy, I want Rhino on something that he's comfortable on, something he can make plays, and Coach Yaltz gave him just that. I do want to point out, Ricard is going for lethality. That is something that I have not seen before. I'm not quite sure what the lethality Kai'Sa is going to look like here, but wow, this is a hard focus on winning this early game. These are squishy champs in Ezreal and Karma. Yeah, they got that Karma shield. Yeah, they got Conqueror on the Ezreal, but with lethality and Hail of Blades on this Kai'Sa, they can die very, very quickly. So new look here from Team Liquid all around. Feels great for them as they're looking to close out the season at least on a positive note. Even if they don't make playoffs, if they can get a couple of wins, boost the morale of the team as their LCS team is doing very well, currently tied for first place. It's great to see the Academy team finding success too, so that there's success all around the organization. but they don't need to be too worried about this early game, pushing this lead. They can on the bot side, of course, but they do have scaling options. The Kog'Maw and the Gangplank on the top side. When I look at these two, I'm thinking they're going to be coming on around 1-2 items around these objectives, but more so the Gangplank, that big 2-item power spike. You get the Trinity Force, and then either a lethality or a crit item, or tanky if you want to be more of a frontliner. But I just see the ability to dive. I see the ability to make plays happen globally with that pick, and along with the set on the bot side. And if Team Liquid's going to be playing aggressive this whole game, they can just keep doing this. This is what Greg is looking for. He's roaming around here. Will be spotted off from this ward, but still hanging around the bottom side of the map with a lot of focus on keeping this bot lane safe and also keeping them ahead. But Mash has been doing a great job absorbing the blows, still staying fairly even in CS at this point in time. So we'll see. We'll keep our tabs on that, how well that works as we transition towards the mid game. But so far this early game, first blood picked up by Team Liquid. They have some control around this dragon, but can they keep it? FlyQuest also in the area, also looking for it. Well, with mid lane shoved, Team Liquid do have first access to this pit. They also have bot lane shoved, so if Team Liquid want to go for this, I think they'll actually be able to claim it. Fnatic's not even in the neighborhood anymore. Never mind, he is coming back. He's got no camps to clear, so he's just wasting time, just preventing this dragon from being taken. So even if Team Liquid don't commit to it, I'd say it's still a victory in their book as long as FlyQuest don't then take that objective. So it's just a battle for vision. Neither team wants to engage onto the other, start off the fight. So maybe Team Liquid will look for it down here. Fnatic still in the area. Biggs getting aggressive onto Riccara, but yeah, Fnatic zoned off here by Rhino. Ricara's taking a big chunk, but the Gangplank ultimate comes down. This is that global play we were talking about, and the engage onto Big does come true. Mash takes a huge chunk. Fnatic's in trouble too, has to flash away, and now Yasui's even roaming down. So Team Liquid, they have the man advantage, they got the tempo advantage, and they can shove this wave in easily and look to set their eyes on the dragon next. Another well-executed engage here. It looked like FlyQuest, they wanted to start it. They thought, okay, Ricara's caught out. He's all alone, so let's just hard engage onto them. But Fnatic was not on the same page, did not walk in with that pillar, and now the dive onto Mash. Riccara with the lethality. Kaisa comes in and finds another kill. Yeah, Mash is just a little too far forward, not respecting the engage potential of Rhino. And what a difference in performance that one day will give and one different champion will give. Rhino already participating in 3 kills here and netting his team all 3 of those. Especially the kills going on to Riccara. This is huge. Now a BS sword. I've given up on trying to predict what this build is going to be. I'm just along for the ride at this point in time. I think the idea is just get as much damage out as possible in one burst. You want Riccara to hit and hit like a truck when Rhino locks down members like Big and like Mash. And it's just going to get easier to do the further ahead they get. Now 10 CS ahead. Riccara doing fantastic on this Kaisa. So Team Liquid, they can be happy about how the bot lane's going. And honestly, nothing else has really gone to favor of FlyQuest. If you look elsewhere on the map, they haven't gotten a big lead in this top side. I was looking at Revenge. I was looking at this Wukong thinking, okay, if Fnatic camps top side, that could be game over for Jenkins. The Gangplank has the orange, yeah, but you can't stop 2 knockups from a Wukong. But maybe the answer for FlyQuest, instead of hard focusing a lane, focus these objectives. They get that first dragon. That will definitely help shore up some of the gold lead that Team Liquid has amassed for themselves, especially if FlyQuest can continue to scale these, continue to push towards that dragon soul. But if you keep allowing Team Liquid to find these gold leads, it will be harder to fight those if Team Liquid is in a position to contest. So now I'm looking at Team Liquid. I'm looking at the shot calling. I'm looking at the decision making and their resets. Are they going to allow FlyQuest to keep scaling up? Looks like their focus not on the dragons right now, but it's not giving free objectives either. It's taking this Rift Herald top side. Grig's picking this one up. I would absolutely love it if Grig grabs this, maybe goes for a reset himself, and then runs right to that bot side, drops it down, and tries to take that turret, break open that part of the map so Riccara and Rhino can get out of lane and bring their huge gold lead elsewhere on the map so that they can just continue to snowball this momentum that they picked up for themselves. But we'll see. We'll see what Greg decides to do with that objective. Either way, he's got options, and all of them seem good. Every single lane going dead even top lane with a good advantage here. So Yasui just holding out here. We don't expect to see too much action with Yazir versus Kog'Maw. Not that they're level 6. Yasui should be careful of a potential all-in. Triple with the Emperor's Divide and Fnatic with that Trundle Pillar. But overall, it doesn't look like FlyQuest is actually interested in speeding this game up either. I think that their plan might just be, look, we got scaling too. We got Ezreal, we got Azir, and we have an insane team fight engage tool in this Wukong. My concern is, it's really just the Wukong with the Karma Shield, sure, but you're going to get popped very, very quickly by a lethality, guys. I just can't believe that I have to keep saying that lethality, guys. As Rikara still hasn't completed a full item, so we'll hold off on what that's going to turn into, but either way, providing that early damage. Now Rhino here with Greg. FlyQuest not having a fun time on this bot side, mashing big. Need to back off. There's so much CC from this Nautilus. You got the hook, you got the depth charge as well, but now Rhino could be caught out. Oh no, the new rookie support player zigs when he should have zagged. Doesn't follow with Grig under the turret, instead tries to walk left, and just an easy pickup for FlyQuest, honestly. Catching out the Nautilus, catching out the young player. Doesn't have the experience to follow up with that jungler. So now Team Liquid's play has to be rethought. They can no longer go for that dive or drop that Rift Herald bot side. I feel like that was the call. But now they need to reassess what their options are as FlyQuest pick up a second kill. FlyQuest still 1,500 gold behind, so they got a little bit of a hill to climb here if they want to come back into this game. But I'm looking at certain players on this side of FlyQuest. When you have an Azir that now picked up that kill, you're the Azir scaling into this game when the team seems to be comfortable with that, not focusing on the early game too much. That's a lot of pressure onto Triple. A player who's been facing a lot of pressure all season. Keep in mind, this guy was at Worlds last year in 2019 with the likes of Fudge, King, and Destiny, all of which his old teammates have found a great number of success stories. Fudge and King on Cloud9 Academy, of course, and then also Destiny on OG. So now it's Triple's turn to prove himself and prove why he was at Worlds, as now FlyQuest almost engage on the bot side. They don't quite get onto Rhino. They know he's got some, they know he's got ultimate available, and they cannot overcommit to that kind of play on an Aftershock Nautilus. And I also don't think that you want to make those kind of plays early anyway. You just protect the turret and try and hold off as long as you can, because this 0-2 Ezreal, probably not going to be your win condition at this point in the game. Maybe if laning phase had gone much differently, you could look to play around it, but at this point, like I was saying, it's going to be about Triple. It's going to be about this Oceanic import player in Academy showing up and proving why he was able to make it to Worlds last year and why he was picked up by North America this year, as Revenge getting a good trade against Jenkins, but it's answered right on back. Revenge himself having a pretty good season. Has struggled on some matchups, and this is one in particular that I haven't seen Revenge find too much success on the Wukong, but we'll see if that changes here as the play onto the mid lane. Yasui goes down to Triple and Fnatic. That's what I was talking about. You have Flash available, but there's two CC options, two terrain options essentially from FlyQuest to lock you down and prevent you from getting out of that mid lane. So Yasui learning that the hard way and will go down. That's 2 kills now to Triple. The win condition coming online here for FlyQuest Academy. Even though they're finding themselves 2,000 gold behind across the map, they can feel good about this Azir picking up these kills. And the Dragon's going to be spawning up shortly as well. FlyQuest, they don't have the vision around there yet, so they got to reset. They got to look to get that with the bot turret taken from Team Liquid Academy. Now Team Liquid can easily roam in here and establish all this vision control. FlyQuest, they're a little late on this reset. I don't think that they're going to be able to contest this at all. Team Liquid quicker on the call, and they find it. Now Jenkins finds the solo kill against Revenge. You see he teleports in too, but now Jenkins getting engaged on by Fnatic. Triple teleports in as well. He jumps in, trying to take down Jenkins. Oh, can't quite get the damage. You see we holding the line against Fnatic, but taking a lot of damage from the True Shot Barrage. Mash participating from across the map, and Team Liquid Academy will need to disengage from this top side. Triple can get some much needed time on this turret, but I think Team Liquid's just saying, look, do not give kills to this Azir. If Triple gets fed, this game is going to be so much harder than it needs to be based on how this early game went for their bot lane. And I think that's wise for them to just back off, not try and go for anything more. Jenkins getting the solo kill was enough, and now this Gangplank picks up that Trinity Force, has a huge power spike to play around in this solo lane against Revenge. And if this Wukong wasn't having a fun time in the early game against Gangplank, will not have a fun time now. This was the counter pick too. This is what FlyQuest held to the last moment. They had the Karma flex, could be going bot, could be going top lane. Team Liquid though, they had the set flex and they had to lock in their top lane, or they choose the Gangplank. I think it was one of the best options that they had available to them. I was surprised to see it with the Kog'Maw, because that's just so much scaling that they're looking for at that point, but it's working out in FlyQuest. The Wukong is not impressing me as the counter into that gangplank. Revenge has not been able to find any sort of solo lead, and they have not been willing to play around him. So FlyQuest are finding themselves falling deeper and deeper into a hole here that Triple will have to climb out of in order to get FlyQuest back into this game. But maybe they can play around him. All members here, Fnatic and Big, they're trying to catch out Rhino yet again. The Nautilus, now Triple's doing the damage. Hasn't gotten in quite yet, but now jumps forward. Grig's trying to be that front line. Oh, the shield just going to be enough to keep him alive. Rhino running for dear life. Flashes the wall. Can Big follow up? 1 Q would take him down, but can't quite find him. FlyQuest almost turn that play around and actually take out the death rush the Team Liquid had set up. And because of all that chunk, because of all that damage they did, they will earn themselves this victory. Great pickup for FlyQuest, evening out the objectives, or the neutral objectives rather. So now a Dragon and a Herald apiece to both sides. And okay, I guess Mash just kills Yasui mid lane. That's cool too. They could just drop the Rift Herald there. All right, Liquid, what's going on? The early game was great. You were playing around this bot lane so well, and the game plan was just Yasui survive, Jenkins survive. And this is not how you do that. Yasui's now gone down twice in that middle lane. And with this Rift Tail dropped, I think this will be a turret. Yes, it should be. Going over to FlyQuest, evening out the turret trades as well. So gold leads slightly in Team Liquid's favor still, but FlyQuest are finding ways to get gold back in their pockets and find objectives for themselves going forward. I wish we could have seen how that pick happened in the mid lane too. Mash was given the kill credit, so Ezreal with a little more gold in your pocket plus that Colt stacking up should be hitting that power spike just a few minutes behind the schedule. You know, if you're going for the Trinity Force or looking at the composition, you still could go for the Iceborne Gauntlet, just looking at the AD threats of the set and the game plan, just so you're not chunked out as much. But you're only going to be delayed at this point by a few minutes. Now, okay, Yasui, you cannot trade against Mash. I'm sorry, man. Somebody's got to tell you. You got to run away, buddy. And Mash will shove Yasui back. No teleport. Really rough past couple minutes here from Team Liquid Academy's mid laner. He's gone down twice. Hasn't found really much for it. And yeah, Team Liquid's not playing around him at this point in the game. But still, you need to play safe. You need to play like you're on the back foot and allow Team Liquid, the rest of the players, to find advantages. At least, though, Jenkins can shove that out, so the farm isn't wasted. Just more gold funneled onto this gangplank, who will also catch this bot wave. But FlyQuest, they're starting to feel more comfortable. They're starting to find these little leads, these little opportunities to engage onto Team Liquid. As Rhino right over the wall. Neither party should see each other right now, so I don't know what the plan is. He's got the Hex Flash. I think that he's going to go for that, but if you do, you're jumping right into 2 members of FlyQuest. They're not spotted by the vision yet. Rhino's going for it. Griggs over the wall too. Who do they target down? They're looking at Big. They're looking at Fnatic. Now they throw the ultimate out onto Triple. The Azir, they're locking him down. Triple will get the kill, goes on the killing spree. And Emperor Divide to buy some space. Rikara has to retreat. FlyQuest turned the fight around. And Team Liquid do not find the engage they were looking for. FlyQuest with some beautiful positioning by Triple right there. Get 2 kills for nothing. A few flashes buried, I suppose, but still well worth it for the FlyQuest side. Now they can back, now they can reset, now they can go for this next dragon, which is just spawning on the map here. Team Liquid with the blunder. They didn't have vision on all members of FlyQuest, so I think that they assumed Triple was just shoved up on his own and looking to catch out the Azir. But once Fnatic, once Big showed up, it was like, okay, Chaos, who are we jumping on? Do we jump on the tank? Do we jump on the Karma? Either way, Karma with the shields, heal, and flash available, it's going to take a while to actually burn that Karma down. And that entire time, Triple was just throwing out the damage on members that don't have a lot of magic resist built at this point in the game. So Team Liquid bite off more than they can chew, and they pay the price for it. The Dragon does go over to FlyQuest Academy. It is secured. They do trade a turret for it, so Yasui gets some nice alone time in that top side. But now Big's chasing down. They got revenge here for the engage. There's the first knockup. He's now looking at Jenkins. Gets the second. Flash forward by Mash, and he's going for the kill. They should be able to pick that one up. Now Triple catches out Grig. Triple doing all the damage on the Azir. They actually turn their attention on to Rhino instead. They catch him under the turret, but he's still alive. Don't actually commit to the dive. But on off-screen, rather, they do take down the top laner in Jenkins. FlyQuest, yet again, with the killer mentality, the insane engage potential of this Wukong, they're able to catch out Team Liquid and really punish them for being in a position they shouldn't have been. I think Team Liquid At that point, you just give the dragon away. You know that you're not going to get there in time, and you just focus on these other lanes. Stay mid, shove that wave, and then get back to where it's safe. If you don't see Revenge, you know that he can engage on you from any angle pretty much when you don't have vision in your own jungle. So Team Liquid Academy, yet again punished. The early game went great for them. They had an insane bot lane play back-to-back, and then a botch bot lane play when Rhino was caught out. Then top lane, Jenkins get a solo kill. Everything's looking great, and now the past couple minutes have been all FlyQuest. And FlyQuest with the superior shot calling and team fight engage potential of this composition have been running away with it. Now 2 items completed on triple. This is your win condition is coming online. I'm happy that I was focusing on triple earlier on in this game because he is delivering right now. Also, fun fact, triple, a little known fact, according to his op.gg, named himself after a McDonald's burger. And I can't say that I have ever heard an in-game name story as heroic as that, as American as that for an Oceanic player. The McDonald's player himself in the mid lane, triple popping off your 3-0 and 1. And also Mash picking up a couple kills is great for the team. The 2 carries that they really want to be outputting that DPS now have the ability to do so. Mash has gone for the Icewind Gauntlet build and has a Muramana fully stacked. So this Ezreal is hitting a big power spike right here. Team Liquid still trying to figure out what their comp is meant to do at this point in the game when they're this behind. Ricard did not complete the lethality item. Instead opted to go for Essence Reaver and then the attack speed AP item in the Nashor's too. So you want that upgrades on your individual abilities, but I'm just wondering, was the lethality worth it? I haven't seen Ricaro have that big pop-off play yet in these team fights. I'm looking for it, and I'm waiting for it, and I'm hoping that Rhino can set him up. The issue is, FlyQuest have such a great grouped-up team fight composition. The Azir can do so much DPS and create space with ultimate. Big on the Karma can shield everybody and speed them up to reposition these team fights. So even if Rhino finds somebody, gets onto the backline, and Ricard jumps in, it's going to be hard for this Kai'Sa to really delete them and successfully win that team fight. They're looking for somebody to catch out. They should be focused on a side lane instead. Use the global power of Jenkins' Gangplank ultimate to try and catch people out and do that extra little bit of damage that they're not expecting. And keep vision on Revenge. That is the homework that Team Liquid needs to be doing right now. They do not have enough wards down around the bottom side of the jungle. They have 1 ward down this entire area. And that means that Revenge, after he catches his wave, can go anywhere he pleases pretty much. And Team Liquid will not know where the Monkey King is. That is a huge tool for FlyQuest to play around. Even if he's not in the neighborhood, the threat of him should deter Team Liquid from looking for a lot of plays. But Team Liquid, they're on the top side. This is where all their vision investment is. They're not concerned around tracking Revenge. They're concerned around controlling vision and this Baron objective. They do have a composition that can take it fairly quickly. The AP Kog'Maw, he doesn't have the Leandries completed, but can do it fairly quickly, as well as the Kai'Sa with the extra attack speed. Some of the crits and lethality, but same with FlyQuest rather, with triple on the Azir, and then Trundle Fnatic on this pick. They take that objective quickly as well. So this is where the focus is. This is where the next team fight probably will come out, and we're seeing it happen right now. Triple, the engage from Rhino is just not enough. Team Liquid now on full retreat. FlyQuest just trying to chase them down. Rhino turns the attention onto Big. They take down the Karma with the teleport coming in, and the Gangplank ultimate. Team Liquid might turn this fight. FlyQuest have to be careful. They have no Emperor's Divide. They do have flashes, so they can disengage if they need to, but Team Liquid with more members in this area now, they picked off the support. I don't know why they're resetting. I think you push for more right now. You still have engaged potential here with Rhino finding a hook and Ricard following up. Grig can jump in with ultimate too, but they just give it up. They're resetting, looking for the dragon instead. They're not interested in this Baron pick right here. They just wanted to get a little bit more gold spent as they now run for the next objective, but because they're doing that, FlyQuest has set it up first. Look at all these FlyQuest members around this area, and Team Liquid had done no vision prep before, so they're walking in blind. Luckily, there's no death rush from FlyQuest. They're just going for flash over by Grig, but he does not secure the steal and just dies instantly. No tanky stats build right now. Does not have the stone play. Now the rest of the team might be looking for it. Look at the poke from Yasui out to triple. And the deletion from Ricard. That's the Kai'Sa we're looking for. Revenge could be in trouble. He tried to dive out of the back line and pays the price for it. Team Liquid playing their comp beautifully. Yasui has Kog'Maw over the wall. Jenkins throwing out those barrels. And Ricard with the killer instinct jumping onto triple, taking out the Azir DPS threat for 1-1 now. Team Liquid win the fight. They can pressure around the Baron now. They lost the Dragon, but still the next objective is in their sights. But they're not going to go for it. Team Liquid Academy, despite getting some kills, getting some gold, they don't really get much else for it. Jenkins can push his bottom wave and maybe pick up a turret for it. And they do have lane priority pushing here top as Yusui grabs that and mid. But they will still need to reset at some point. They still need to get this vision down if they can. There we go. The turret does go over to Jenkins, so that's some neutral objective picked up here for Team Liquid. Or rather, an objective for the blue team. Can shove in that bot side a little more. Jenkins has been playing the side lane very well so far. But that's just not how I see Team Liquid winning this game. They need to find more plays like that around these objectives where Yusui has all this range to pepper the backline of FlyQuest while Grig buys time on the front line, Rhino buys time on the front line, and then Rikara can jump in and delete them once Yusui has, buttered them up for him. Great to see a team comp come together like that, but still got a long road ahead of them if they want to win this game. They've nestled back that gold lead. Now 2,000 ahead of FlyQuest, but FlyQuest should still be feeling fine about this. They're on Dragon Soul point. That Mountain Soul will do wonders to help prevent this poke coming in from Yusui and the lethality coming out from Rikara, who's now going for the Quincy's Rage Blade. Wow. Really just one that's rated dirt for the early game. I respect it a lot, actually. I think Rikara's been having a great game so far and an incredible performance. And in general, is the win condition for Team Liquid in most of their Academy games so far. I know they've only won 2, but Rikara is the primary carry of this team. 3-0-3, we're starting to see why right now. And I love that they're allowing Rhino to play something more aggressive. Not the Tom Kench, this is the Nautilus, who can get aggressive and help Rikara carry these games. Baron was started up there by FlyQuest. They're trying to sneak it away, but Team Liquid, they knew something was up. They weren't just going to allow that to remain dark in their vision for too long, but now comes the game of reestablishing vision control around there. You got that one ward that can be easily cleared by FlyQuest. How will Rhino approach? He's got his bodyguard in Grig. I love to see the support jungle synergy walking together, trying to reestablish this control around the area. As now, maybe the play is here onto top lane. Triple on the Azir is backing off, knows that he's not safe, as there's a wild set and Nautilus roaming around in your jungle. And honestly, FlyQuest don't have a lot of vision down to spot them out either. So it's just the battle. It's just the waiting game. Who's going to throw that first punch and go for this objective first? Jenkins still on the bot side, has that Gangplank ultimate, and teleport will be coming up shortly, so can hop into this fight very, very quickly, just slightly before Revenge would be able to with the Wukong teleport. So Team Liquid, they have a small window here where they could look to force this objective, look to start the fight, but instead, going for the reset, not going to force anything this game. Instead, just waiting it out. I still think that Team Liquid want to push this envelope a little bit more. You have Yusui with the Leandri's completed. This Kog'Maw is going to be doing insane damage in prolonged team fights. You have Gargoyle Stoneplate on Grig and Rhino. What more are you really waiting for at this point in time before just pulling the trigger on the objective? Maybe it's the Dragon. Maybe they say we don't actually care for this Baron at this point in the game. That's going to be a later game win condition. Picking up now, we probably won't be able to do too much with it. So let's control the Dragons instead and prevent FlyQuest from getting those. But Rhino's now chunked out. So Dragon spawning here in 40 seconds. Team Liquid not in the best position to actually fight this one out with all the poke coming in from the Azir, the Ezreal, and the Karma. They've absorbed some of it, but now with lower health bars, they will need to be careful about looking for a team fight. But look at where Revenge is, not with the rest of the team. Team Liquid, this is your time to go in. If ever there was one, they don't pull the trigger yet again. Grig over the wall has the Hex Splash. They might look for it. Rhino too, they really want to find this engage, but at this point, Revenge has joined in. They lost their window of opportunity, so Team Liquid, again on the back foot, again with not a lot of vision control around this Dragon objective. And no access to mid lane either because of that pesky Azir turret. I feel like FlyQuest are in a primed position to take this Dragon Soul. They just need to win the team fight. But we'll see how well Team Liquid plays this one out. They still have Yusui to pepper the backline, and they still have Rikara to jump back there as the Kai'Sa. The True Shot Barrage goes wide, but look at Revenge over the wall. Oh no, he's looking for the flank. Dragon's been started up. Grig's in the pit. Big looking to engage on him as this Karma. They lock him down. That's a lot of poke, but look at the Gangplank ultimate. There we go. Triple binding space with that ultimate, and they take down Rhino. The Nautilus not tanky enough. It is answered here as 2 members fall for FlyQuest. Mash and Big go down in a surprise turn of events. All the poke coming in from Team Liquid. Now they're all in the Dragon Pit. Who's able to take it down? The Dragon and the kill go over to FlyQuest. Triple takes down Jenkins, and now full retreat from Team Liquid. It's just the carries left alive. They're flashing away, but Triple says, "Where you going, Yasui?" NA talent who? Oceania's got the mid laners NA needs, and he gets the shutdown kill. 8-1-1 on the Azir, and FlyQuest turn their sights onto the Baron. Dragon Soul picked up, team fight 1, Baron in their pocket. This game is looking done and dusted for FlyQuest. They just need to walk in these Baron empowered minions and just decimate Team Liquid's base. Now Team Liquid fully on the back foot at this point in the game. That last team fight was really their last opportunity to turn the tides and prevent FlyQuest from completing their late game, mid game push here that they've had. Back to back to back dragons, all 3 mountains picked up here for FlyQuest, and the big one with the Baron. Now they finally find themselves with their first gold lead of the game so far. FlyQuest can just shove in these waves and look to close this one out quickly. And 8-1-1 on Triple. They have Team Liquid has not been able to get onto this Azir the same way that they did at the one dragon fight that they actually won, where they still didn't get the dragon, mind you, but at least they took down the carry. Triple's positioning has been immaculate this game. Always being cognizant of where Rikara could be coming in from, making sure that Rhino can't fully lock him down, and using that Shurima shuffle to just buy space immediately in the fight. Oftentimes you see Azirs hold off on that ultimate because they want to get that huge height play where they Shurima shuffle and push back the entire enemy team and win the fight, but Triple says, nah. I'm going to use this immediately just to keep myself safe and keep the DPS out there, and I think that's a better way to use this. As now the pressure on the bot side pushing in onto this inhibitor turret. FlyQuest with this Baron wave. They also have pressure mid lane. How long can Team Liquid hold out? They do have a lot of poke with Yasui, with Rikara. If they can land that, FlyQuest could be in some trouble here, but so far FlyQuest have been absorbing that just fine and just shoving in this turret. It should fall down to this wave right here, and it does. Team Liquid now say, okay, we see you, FlyQuest. We'll just give you this inhibitor and hope to fight at a different location. Again, maybe you just have to go for it at that point in time. The longer you let this game go on for, the stronger FlyQuest is going to be. 4 items on Triple plus a 10-stacked Dark Seal. If you can't get this Azir killed quick in this fight, then you are losing this fight. The cannons peppering this middle turret, that will fall as well. So Super's pushing the bot side and an open inhibitor mid. FlyQuest making full use of this Baron. This is a great Baron push from an academy level team. They are playing this so well right now, not allowing Team Liquid to actually find these engages and just starving them out of resources, allowing these cannons to do most of the work for them. They'll take down another inhibitor, but here's the engage from Team Liquid. Gameplay Colt goes down, but Rhino can't find the hook, so I don't think the engage is going to be completed. You look at Triple, he's just trying to bait them out right there on the top side. He still has the shuffle to get away, but does he go in? I thought maybe we see the Triple engage that time around, but he's not going to go for it. He's not going to push. FlyQuest will instead just take that middle inhibitor and walk away happy with that. I think the reset will come in. They can spend all the gold that they've managed to acquire for themselves. And with Super's pushing mid, Super's pushing bot, it's just an easy game. Push top, take that. Maybe win a team fight and then end out the game. And we see Team Liquid with their inability to find that engage and their unwillingness to force that engage fully on the back foot. Maybe their last play here is to just defend under the Nexus turrets, but even then, I don't know how well that's going to work out for them. They can try. They can certainly try, but it's going to be a hard task indeed. 34 minutes into the game, FlyQuest on the cusp of making this late split push for playoffs. They're tied in 8th right now at 5-8. And a win here is so important for them. They're 0-2 against Dig, who are tied with them in the standings, so they don't own that head-to-head. They're going to have to win, not necessarily win out, but at least win 2 more games. So a win here would set them up for a potential late season push for that playoff seeding. And that would be just such a great Cinderella story for this organization, for this team. The Sequest team. as Revenge, Fnatic, Triple Mash, and Big. They have had a couple highs, but also a rocky season overall. Mash going to the LCS team, Wild Turtle coming in and playing with him instead, and then switching back. I mean, that's hard for a team to deal with roster swaps like that throughout a season, but not letting it deter them too much as they're now putting the pressure onto Team Liquid. Greg under the turret taking a lot of damage. Triple jumps in and tries to find that last tick, but can't quite do it. So Greg will survive, but Baron's still up. Nope, never mind. Baron has expired now for FlyQuest, so they will not have the Baron push, but they can still look to take this turret with this next wave. Elder Dragon spawning as well in 40 seconds, so FlyQuest, even if they don't end the game here with this push, there's just so little chance that Team Liquid can fight them at that objective. Jenkins, what are you doing? Walking way too far forward. Gets chunked out. So close to death. But that orange will keep him alive. But again, you have to flash. And the whole team had to keep you alive. So now the turret will fall down. FlyQuest will take that objective. Only 3 turrets remain on the map here for Team Liquid Academy. And FlyQuest have their eyes set on all of them. But first, they want to get this Elder Dragon. This will make their team fight pretty much unstoppable. And if Team Liquid have any way back into the game, it is an engage around this objective. We saw them win one dragon fight earlier. Can they do it again? Greg, I don't believe he spotted over this wall. Has the Hex Flash available. Teleport coming in here. Rhino's taking so much damage, though. Has to use the Stone Plate over the wall. And will the team fight work out? Ricard jumps into the backline, but he's not able to find Triple. So much damage comes in. The Dragon secured by FlyQuest Academy. And it's just that easy. Now the cleanup here. They already took down Greg. Now they can look to chase down the rest of Team Liquid. Rhino flashes over the wall. FlyQuest follow up. Mash with the Q will take him down with the last take of the Elder Dragon. Big is in some trouble. Needs to watch out with the low health bar, but oh my god, Triple! They got families, man. 10-1 and 2 on the Azir, and the Oceanic player himself carries his team to victory. Only Ricard left up to defend, and FlyQuest can just walk in with this full super wave. It's an easy play now. Take out the Nexus turrets, take out the Nexus, and FlyQuest will end Team Liquid's chances of making playoffs and get another win for themselves, and they are chasing that final playoff spot.